A luxurious BMW sits abandoned in a parking lot. Inside, a briefcase full of important documents, a wallet containing credit cards, and house keys, all left behind without a trace. Two successful bankers, seemingly living the perfect life, vanish into thin air on an ordinary summer morning in 1994. No bodies, no ransom demands, no goodbye notes. This isn't the plot of a Hollywood thriller. This is the real-life disappearance of Nick and Lisa Masee. Hey, true crime enthusiasts! Before we dive deeper into this baffling case, take a moment to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. The story begins in North Vancouver, British Columbia, where Nick Masee, a respected investment banker at the Bank of Montreal, and his wife Lisa, a former bank employee turned real estate agent, were last seen on August 10, 1994. What started as a routine dinner meeting would spiral into one of Canada's most perplexing missing persons cases. Nick Masee wasn't your typical banker. At 55, he had built a reputation as the banker to the stars, managing millions in investments for Vancouver's elite. Lisa, his second wife, was 39 and had recently found success in real estate. Together, they seemed unstoppable. If you're finding this case intriguing already, show your support by hitting that like button. Every like helps share these important stories with more people. But beneath the surface of their picture-perfect life, something was brewing. In the weeks leading up to their disappearance, Nick had been acting strangely. Colleagues noticed he seemed distracted, almost paranoid. He had recently been involved in some high-stakes investment deals that raised eyebrows at the bank. On August 10th, Nick had scheduled a dinner meeting with potential investors at the Owl and Oarsman restaurant in North Vancouver. This wasn't unusual for him. Dinner meetings were part of his routine. But something about this meeting was different. Nick never told anyone who these mysterious investors were. The couple left their home that evening, leaving behind their BMW in the parking lot of their North Vancouver apartment building. Their personal belongings, including wallets and house keys, were found inside the car. It was as if they had stepped out for a moment and simply vanished. Hey there! If you're as invested in this mystery as I am, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're just getting started, and you won't want to miss what happens next. The initial investigation revealed some troubling details. The restaurant where Nick claimed to have the meeting, they had no reservation under his name. The potential investors, they were never identified. The security cameras in the area, none of them captured Nick and Lisa entering or leaving any establishments that night. As the investigation deepened, disturbing details began to surface about Nick Masee's final days at the Bank of Montreal. If you've just joined us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated on this fascinating case. The police discovered that Nick had been involved in several large investment deals that had caught the attention of bank supervisors. In fact, just months before his disappearance, he had been questioned about some unusual transactions. The bank had noticed patterns that didn't quite add up, large sums of money moving between accounts in ways that raised red flags. But here's where things get even more intriguing. In the weeks leading up to their disappearance, Nick had told colleagues about a potentially massive investment deal. He claimed it could be worth millions, but he was unusually secretive about the details. Even Lisa, who typically knew about his business dealings, seemed in the dark about this particular venture. Speaking of Lisa, investigators found that she had withdrawn $9,000 from their joint account just days before they vanished. A curious detail that deserves a moment's pause. If you're finding these revelations as fascinating as I do, take a second to hit that like button. The investigation took another turn when police learned about a series of phone calls Nick had received in the days before the disappearance. These weren't your typical business calls. They were brief, and Nick would step away from his desk to take them. His secretary noted that he seemed agitated after these conversations. Remember those mysterious dinner guests? Police interviewed every restaurant in North Vancouver that might have hosted such a meeting. None had any record of Nick or Lisa Masee that night. No credit card charges, no witness sightings, nothing. It was as if they had disappeared into thin air. Another shocking revelation came from Nick's son from his first marriage. He told investigators that his father had expressed concerns about certain clients in the months leading up to his disappearance. These weren't just any clients. They were individuals with alleged connections to Vancouver's criminal underworld. Hey true crime sleuths, if you're piecing together the clues with me, make sure you're subscribed. We've got more shocking details coming up. The police investigation also revealed that Nick had been keeping a secret file at home, one that wasn't found after their disappearance. His colleagues mentioned that he'd been documenting something in the weeks before he vanished. But the contents of those documents remain unknown to this day. Adding another layer to the mystery, Lisa's real estate colleagues reported that she had been acting unusually in her final days at work. She had canceled several important client meetings without explanation and had been seen having intense phone conversations in her car. The couple's friends painted a picture of mounting tension in the weeks before they vanished. They described Nick as increasingly paranoid, constantly checking over his shoulder when in public. Lisa had confided in a close friend that she was worried about Nick's behavior but wouldn't elaborate on the specifics. If you're as invested in this mystery as I am, hit that like button. These cases need to be kept alive in public memory. As months turned into years, the investigation continued to uncover bizarre connections. A safety deposit box registered to Nick was found empty, though bank records showed he had accessed it just days before vanishing. Their passports were left behind, their bank accounts untouched, and their cell phones never used again. The investigation into Nick and Lisa Masee's disappearance took a dramatic turn in 1995 when international banking investigators became involved. If you're just joining us on this journey, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss any details of this baffling case. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP, expanded their investigation across borders, following leads that suggested Nick's banking connections might have extended far beyond Vancouver. They discovered that several of his high-profile clients had been involved in controversial business dealings across multiple countries. One of the most significant breakthroughs came when investigators uncovered a series of encrypted emails on Nick's work computer. These communications, dated just weeks before the disappearance, hinted at a meeting that could change everything. The recipients of these emails were never identified. True crime enthusiasts, if you're finding these revelations as compelling as I do, take a moment to hit that like button. Your support helps keep these important stories alive. The case took another unexpected turn when a former client of Nick's came forward with information about a proposed real estate development deal. The client claimed that Nick had expressed concerns about potential money laundering through the project, but the details died with his disappearance. Lisa's involvement in the mystery deepened when investigators discovered she had been researching international banking laws in the weeks before they vanished. Her internet search history revealed queries about offshore accounts and banking secrecy laws, unusual topics for a real estate agent. By 1996, the case had grown cold, but the questions continued to multiply. The Bank of Montreal conducted its own internal investigation, though the results were never made public. Rumors circulated about missing files and unauthorized transactions, but nothing could be definitively linked to the Masee's disappearance. If you're invested in uncovering the truth about cases like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We dig deep into the most perplexing mysteries of our time. The impact on the Vancouver banking community was profound. Security protocols were tightened, and investment practices came under intense scrutiny. Nick's former colleagues spoke of a culture of fear that persisted long after the disappearance, with many wondering if they might have missed crucial warning signs. In 2000, 6 years after they vanished, a glimmer of hope emerged when a witness claimed to have seen the couple in Mexico. The lead was thoroughly investigated, but like so many others, it led nowhere. The witness's description matched, but surveillance footage from the location revealed it was a case of mistaken identity. One last time, hit that like button if you want to see more coverage of unsolved mysteries like this one. Your engagement helps these stories reach a wider audience. Today, nearly 3 decades later, the disappearance of Nick and Lisa Masee remains one of Canada's most puzzling cold cases. Their bank accounts still sit untouched, their possessions gathering dust in evidence storage. The BMW they left behind in that North Vancouver parking lot stands as a silent witness to their last known movements. The theories are endless, Were they victims of foul play related to Nick's banking activities? Did they orchestrate their own disappearance to escape some unknown threat? Or did they fall prey to something or someone connected to those mysterious dinner guests who never materialized? In 2014, on the 20th anniversary of their disappearance, the RCMP released a statement confirming that the case remains open. Nick's children continue to search for answers, maintaining a website dedicated to finding their father and stepmother. Lisa's family has never given up hope of discovering what happened that August night in 1994. The legacy of the Masee disappearance extends beyond the immediate mystery. It sparked changes in banking oversight and led to enhanced security measures in the Canadian banking industry. But for those who knew them, the greatest impact is the void left behind, the countless questions that may never be answered. As we conclude this exploration of one of Canada's most perplexing disappearances, we're left with a stark reminder that sometimes the most mysterious cases are not those that occur in the shadows, but those that happen in plain sight, in the seemingly safe and ordinary moments of our daily lives. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on more true crime cases like this one. Together, we keep these stories alive, hoping that someday, someone watching might hold the key to unlocking these decades-old mysteries. The truth about what happened to Nick and Lisa Masee may still be out there, waiting to be discovered. Until then, their disappearance remains a haunting reminder that sometimes people don't just vanish. They leave behind a web of questions that continue to perplex investigators and fascinate true crime enthusiasts to this day.